Hello and welcome to Hide and Seek across Copenhagen. I'm Simon, and together with my two friends Asger and Jasper, we are competing to see who can hide the longest without being found anywhere in the city. Right now, I've disappeared somewhere in Copenhagen, and it's now Asger and Jasper's job to find me using a series of questions from our extensive question list. But every question comes at a cost. For each question the seekers ask, I, the hider, get to draw a card, and those cards can give me powerful advantages like time bonuses or curses that can slow the seekers down. This game is of course inspired by Jetlag the game, and we are playing a slightly modified version of their home game. We have just found Jasper in the woods next to Flintholm Station after hiding for 2 hours and 48 minutes. Can I beat that time? Well, let's find out.
Right guys, I'm off. See you later or never.
I've got 30 minutes to hide before the seekers will start looking for me and asking questions. So while I head to my secret hiding spot, I should tell you that you can already watch Jasper's run over on his channel, and then you can come back and watch mine. Or you can keep on watching here, as things aren't exactly going as planned.
So, basically because the metro isn't running between København Syd and Havneholmen, I'm gonna run to my desired stop now. It's not far from here and I can just about make it if I run. It's gonna be very close.
With no minute of hiding time left to spare and great timing from this bus.
Still 9:55, baby. We did it. Let's go. Well, this looks like a lot of Copenhagen. Lots of these buildings all over Copenhagen, and I hope that will make it tough for them to find me. But I'm gonna sit down now after that sprint.
Welcome to the Seeker's Point of View. Our time is about to start in just a couple of minutes, but before that we are allowed to start planning what our first move is going to be. The thing is, we are starting this game, this round, somewhere actually quite far out, so it might make sense, since we're in sort of an extremity here, this is where we are, to ask a radar question, ask if he's within a certain radius of us.
I like that idea.
That could possibly cut the whole map in half. But maybe not in a super clean way. I'm not sure. The thing is, it would cut through a lot of this up here.
Right, yeah.
So if he's further away and we try and cut this map in half, he could be in this whole long stretch. But that should, if nothing else, be easy to cut in half again.
Yeah. I say we start with the radar.
I guess we could have a look at our different options. No, actually our search time starts about now, in fact. So is that what we do? Should we look at what a good radius would be?
Yeah, what are our options again?
1, choose your own radar question. 1 variable, flexible radar that we could potentially ask right now, if none of these other ones do it for us. Yes, a 5-kilometer radar wouldn't quite do it. It wouldn't quite separate the lines down there, separate the mainland Zealand from the island of Amager that he might be on. So probably something like 5.5 or 5.7 kilometers would be better. He might have tried to get as far away as he can, in which case all we're really doing is ruling out for sure that he's not in the area closer to us.
Right.
I don't know, that's the reason we're asking that question. I don't know where I was going with that. We want to ask a 5.5 kilometer radar.
Let's do it.
All right, you said it. Let's freaking go.
So they've just asked me an oddly specific question. It's if I am within 5.57 kilometers of here. I think I might, which is probably not a good thing, but that was a very oddly specific radar. We are about 4.6 kilometers away from them, so that's gonna be a yes then. Right, so because that was a radar question, I get to draw 2 cards. So let's see what they are. So, a custom curse. Curse of the personalized smorrebrod. That could be good. And let's see the other one. Duplicate another card. I think I'm gonna take the curse of this personalized smorrebrod for now, but that's two really good cards. Curse of the personalized smorrebrod. Denmark is famous for its smorrebrod, slices of bread with various toppings. Before the seekers can ask another question, one of the seekers must eat some personalized smorrebrod. Acquire toppings starting with each of the letters in the seeker's first name, put it on a piece of rye bread and eat it. First letters are based on the English name for the items. You can use any commonplace synonym. Casting cost, discard a power-up.
I understand we have a response.
We do have a response.
Okay.
Simon is within 5.57 kilometers.
Okay. Honestly, not quite what I wanted to hear,
Yeah.
but it was we weighed our option, and it was a deliberate choice that we made.
Yeah.
That rules out some edge cases and some annoying corners of the map, though.
That is nice. But we have so much more area to cover now.
Yes. Let's start thinking of a next move.
Yes.
But yeah, that radar question was oddly specific, so I wonder if, since it was a hit, if it's gonna give them any way to go already. I'm gonna have a look at the tracker. So looks like on Google Maps they are still at Flintholm. So hopefully they're gonna ask some more questions before they start coming this way. Oh, they're moving. Or at least they are on the benches outside the station.
Okay, we might have gotten overly paranoid about how far he could have gotten. Looking at this now, it doesn't look all too impressive. Crap. Do you want to ask the about his distance to the nearest coastline, though? We could head towards the center of town, perhaps stop at
Frederiksberg.
Frederiksberg Station. If we do that, then, or maybe we go a little further, then we could roughly cut this ordeal in half.
We could, yeah.
And there are 2 metro lines coming through here, so that wouldn't even take too long. Even if we got off here, that wouldn't,
No, yeah, it's very quick.
closer to the lakes, that wouldn't ruin our chances to get out of there in a decent time.
My other thought was, so we had that zoo question that you asked me.
Yeah,
We have about that distance. So
that's true. You know what I think?
But we could go to here and do the airport.
I think chances are low that he went south from here.
Okay.
So I might want to go somewhere close to the lakes around the center of town, or
Yeah.
city center, and ask if he's closer to the coastline from in there. I haven't fully thought this through, but my thought is that might help us cut the map in half somewhere like this,
Okay. Yeah, that works.
and leave either the dense city center and a little bit of the northern town, or this southern part of town where we already came from, which is larger, and there might be more stations, but the thing is I don't think he would have gone south. That's not my read on the guy.
He's not a south kind of guy.
No, he looks up, he looks north. We also, I know he produces videos, and we were just in the south.
Right.
So,
he would want to go somewhere different.
He would want to go show us something we haven't seen before. Even though we did use it in the other round, I think our best question right now is to go a little further towards the sea and then ask whether he's closer or further from the coast than we are.
I agree. Let's do it.
Okay. You'll go along with it?
Yeah.
So while they figure out where I am over at Flintholm, then I'm gonna go get something to drink in the supermarket over here. It's time for a snack zone drink edition. Are drink snacks? Well, now they are. So much better than Sprite.
Well, there goes our train. That's all right. We'll give him 3 minutes until the next train arrives. He needs it. He's gonna need 3 minutes. Yeah, no big deal. I bet you he is somewhere in this direction.
Let's go.
Nice.
Several trains are not in motion on line M3 and M4. This is due to a train with a technical issue.
All right, we're at Forum Station. And we're about to ask for a crucial piece of information. Like my rhyme?
I do like your rhyme. Hamfrags is known to rhyme.
That's not true.
So they just asked if I am closer or further to the coastline than them, so I'm not quite sure. I'm just gonna have a quick look at the map. 6 kilometers-ish from the coastline, so they're definitely closer. That's definitely gonna tell them a lot. It's gonna rule out a lot of the city, but actually not that much of the city. Like, a lot of the city that looks like this in Copenhagen is further from the coast. There's a bit on up by Amagerbro, but overall I don't think that's too bad actually for me.
Okay, we just got an answer. And Jaspinko, I'll tell you right now, if he is not closer to the sea than we are, then I will say it. I think he's boring. I think I've severely misinterpreted how interesting of a man he is if he went south where we just came from.
Well,
But let's let him speak his own truth.
I have interesting news for you. He is further from the coast than we are.
Well, that just made me lose like 50% of the respect I had for him. What does that mean, though? Let's mark that on the map. We already drew sort of the line. Will you maybe fill it in?
It seems as though he didn't go that far from where we were to start off with.
Yeah. Where could he have gone? At this point, I
this
guess
whole southern section is in play.
my guess will be down here on the cyan-colored metro line, maybe,
I
like
see.
on the waterfront. That might still be interesting. He might be able to save his interestingness, save my interest in him. Well, he also still could be at like the central station,
Right.
which would be a real tricky place for us to actually look for him. Right. There are a couple stations along the line we drew where he might have gone just across the border to be closer or further from the sea than we were. So we've kind of neglected to scratch those. I honestly don't immediately know what to do from here.
And because they asked me that question about the coast, I get to draw 3 and pick one. See what we can get here. 1, 2, and call this 3. Time bow. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. Discard 1, draw 2. And I'm not too fond of that. And another time burst. I think I'll just take the time bonus for now.
Could he have gone up here? That would have been a bit interesting, I would say. To go even further out of the city.
I don't know, he might be the type of person to do that. That might be interesting if nothing else. Although still a little bit boring. How do we want to cut this? Is there a way we can cut the map so that we will know where to go from here? Whether to head south or to head back the way we came? Or out here?
Airport.
Airport?
Airport.
Oh, show us.
Airport's down here, right? So if we're closer or further away from the airport, that kind of does cut this
It does.
north-south.
I think it'll cut like through here where I put my thumb, which would nicely. It would function as a way to finally make sure that he isn't up here,
Right.
or like right next to where we started, so we could go here pretty confidently to this stretch along the harbor. I like that. Should we just ask that now?
I think so, before he throws a challenge our way.
Yeah, and then honestly, after we ask it, I say we just head on the metro line into town so that we can start heading down there, because
Right, no matter what.
I still doubt he's up here.
I just got asked another measuring question if I am closer or further from the airport, which means I will get to draw some more cards.
So we can duplicate. Ooh, that could be fun. And let's see what we have here. Discard 2, draw 3. Probably not that useful because I have some pretty good cards already. And another time bonus. I think I'm gonna keep the duplicate because maybe we could duplicate the smorrebrod curse. Yeah, let's do that.
Well, enough waiting around there, so let's go explore a hiding zone a bit. I have a good idea about where my final hiding spot is gonna be, and it's quite a bit different from what you see around here. The only thing that has me a bit worried is in case they want to ask a question that needs me to be at the station, because it is a little bit of a walk.
I mean, take a look at just how lovely and quiet it is down here. Like nothing going on. There's so many homes, but it's pretty quiet still. And there's a bit of a park area down here with some allotments even. But yeah, I'm a bit worried with both that radar and those two measuring questions that they do have a quite small narrow area. But this area has a lot of train stations, and yeah, you can walk between them a bit, but you have to nail the right one to find the right circle. And my plan is to hide a bit on the edge of the radius from the station where my hiding zone gets drawn from. So I'm hoping that can throw it off a bit for them. Well, I didn't go quite to the zoo, but this is close enough. Hello, little guy.
Alright, let's just see what he answers. I will say, if he's closer to the airport than we were, I think there's a good chance he's on the blue line, which means we could just get on the blue line and ask if he's on the same line as us.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're right. And his response is, he is closer to the airport.
All right, I'm starting to regain respect. That's the more interesting direction. Imagine if he had just hidden right next to where he started.
Right.
So now we kind of have a decision point once we get south to the central station. Do we get on the metro line, the M4 I believe, down to the southern docks? Or is he hiding somewhere on the S train line? He seemed to believe when I was with him that the area by the docks was more recognizable. He seemed to like the idea of hiding by the S train, but I don't know if he would do the opposite now that he told me that.
Oh, there's even some bunnies over here. Hello, little guys. Yeah, this place is known as the children's animal playground, and it's just about within the zone, a hiding zone of the station I'm hiding at. I mean, if they ask for a picture from here, I guess that's gonna throw them off a bit, but there's not gonna be many locations like this. Hello, my guy. How are you doing?
One thing I will say is that about half of the stops that he could be at right now are on the M4 metro line, which means we could rule them out or in using the nearest rail line question by asking if if our train stops at his station.
Yeah, let's try that. So first we have to get to the blue line in order to ask that.
Yes, so we'd have to head down to the central station or very center of town, heading into the station right here and catching any train to the central station is the best bet right now. Do you agree?
I agree, let's go. So I'm a little concerned at this point that we've thrown a lot of questions his way and he hasn't thrown a curse our way yet. I feel like it's coming any moment now.
Either that or he has drawn all the best time bonuses that are in the deck. Some of
Maybe.
them give you like 12, 8 minutes. That's a lot. Although curse probably would be better for him.
Yeah.
No vetoes, no randomizes. Do you think he's drawn the move card? That'll surely be interesting.
Ooh, I never drew that, so it's possible.
Yeah.
Nørreport. Her kan du skifte til bus, metro og andre tog.
I like the vibe of this
Change
place.
here for buses, the metro.
This is a lot more grungy.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like the vibes. It's like a club.
It's so spacious too.
It really is like a club. I mean, I think the space is for bikes.
Right.
For some reason, this train is completely empty right now. I guess it's not rush hour. So we're back
We are
at
so
the
back.
central station. So back, you might say. Let's immediately make our way to the M4.
They seem to be moving south here, probably on the S train, which is not good news for me. But since they are on public transport, and many of the switch stations doesn't really have a lot of supermarkets or good stuff to like buy ingredients to make smørrebrod, maybe we should hit them with a little curse. So we're gonna hit them with this smørrebrod's curse. And to do that I need to discard a power-up, so I'm using the duplicate card for that. And yeah, we'll see if we get to draw some more cards later. Hopefully we can get some more time bonuses or something. Yeah, and they seem to have gotten off at main station, which is actually pretty good, because the supermarket that used to be in main station has actually closed not that long ago. So they're gonna have to go out of main station and actually walk 5 minutes-ish to get to another supermarket, and then, you know, assemble it somewhere, which is not that easy over at main station, because there's not that many benches and tables and stuff. So I think this could win me maybe 10-15 minutes at least.
Hamfrags, I noticed that we got notified of a message from Simon. Why don't you read it?
Yeah.
What happened?
We have been hit by our first curse. It's been nice and quiet up until now, but I guess we're not getting on this metro line right now because we were about to instantly ask a question. We can't ask a question until we've cleared this curse, and it's the curse of the personalized smørrebrod, which means we have to go shopping right now.
Going shopping.
Yeah, no shopping down here. I guess we gotta head back up. Well, we're about to freaking speed run this curse. I'm gonna eat the smørrebrod so fast I throw up. Well, we need to figure out who's eating the smørrebrod.
That depends on what goes on it.
True, Jasper. Well, you're kind of disadvantaged in this curse because you are both a vegetarian and have more letters in your name.
Yes.
And I did think of that while writing it, but I didn't care. Thought it'd be fine. Thought it'd be maybe even might be fun. Should we just leave through here?
Yeah, let's go up here.
Nearest exit, surely. We're gonna speed run this, but we need to choose who gets to eat the smørrebrod.
Yeah.
Because of course we both really want to.
Really. Well, I will say we share, what, 4 letters in our names?
Oh, you're right.
A, S,
So it's
E, R.
simply a question of what we can find first, a G or a J and a P. Maybe if we were in a less dirty feeling place, I would just like put a piece of grass on it, but
Grape, ginger, I see. That would be weird to put on. Green pepper, if you want to go that route.
weird is not disallowed. Alternatively, maybe if they have like a candy section where you can just mix your own bag of candy, we could do it. We could kind of skirt around the rules of the challenge. But I don't think this place would have that.
No,
I
but
don't
we
know.
are literally at the central station. There will be places to shop
Let's
very
just
close
get
by.
up. I think we could probably find something to start with a J, a P, or a G. These things are all by the kilo. Is there an entrance over here? I'm just gonna go inside. Oh, look. The R, I think,
Radish?
could just be more rye bread.
Rye
I
bread,
think that's
yeah,
the best
yeah.
choice. These are all by the kilo. Why? Oh,
I think there might be a netto, like a blocker.
here's an A.
I've never heard of those. They look spicy.
They do.
There is a Netto like a block or two away from here.
All right.
If we want to go there.
Sure, let's go to that.
All right, go.
So the boys took a good 10 minutes to shop as they still had to figure out who should eat it and what ingredients to pick. Some interesting choices were made for sure.
To the Metro?
To the Metro.
Arguably the most powerful curse in the deck.
Yes.
Welcome to the program within a program. Today I'm going to show you how to make a personalized piece of smørrebrod exclusively for someone with my name. You're going to need a bite of red pepper. It's the first. Oh, actually, that's the last ingredient. Order doesn't really matter. Then somehow we need to get inside this apple juice, even though now I realize it's missing a straw. Look, we'll figure this all out when we get to the metro station. See you there.
Now we are.
We've got the red pepper. Now we need our apple juice, our syrup, and of course, our energy drink. Any brand can do. And granola. Now I guess let's do these in order. Let's poke a hole in this. That's good. Just the slightest hint of that taste of sweet, sweet discovery apple is enough. Now, let's figure out how to open the syrup. There we are. I promise we're not going to throw these in the trash afterwards. I'm going to keep them. I'm going to love them. I'm going to care for them. Oh, that's a little much. And before we get into the solid section of toppings, just a hint of Monster. Oh my goodness. Energy. I don't want to get my little thing wet, but here we go, I guess. Granola, please. Oh my goodness. How? We have a train to catch. Goodness. Okay, here we go. Now all that's left to do is to eat it. So many steps to this curse. Lovely. I feel so loved by whoever made this. I feel like this was made for me. You see?
It looks amazing. I'm so jealous. I wish I was the one eating that.
And that is how you make a personalized piece of smørrebrod for a person named Jessica. Easy as that.
You're going to finish it?
I think I have to finish it.
I think he has to finish it. I'm surprised he can. It doesn't look that good.
There are various tastes in here that I like. It's actually much more dry than wet.
Really? Half the ingredients were just liquid.
Yeah, I don't understand. I guess because most of it ended up here
Oh, yeah.
on my drawing board. But too bad. You want a bite of my pepper?
Sure, feed me a bite of pepper.
I barely touched it. That's an R, that's a G. Red, so R, you're like a third of the way there.
Yum!
And while Asger made sure to pack the items away, Jasper had a delicious lunch consisting of a red pepper and a slice of rye bread.
What was this, like 25 minutes of our lives?
Yep.
You got us there. Simon, gotta hand that to you. That was worth wasting a duplicate card. Let's go underground.
They are now heading back to main station and probably either getting the metro or the S train down towards here. So we'll see if they're already figured out roughly which station I'm at. There should still be like at least 8 open. So I guess we'll see what line they take.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Delightful.
So the audio got a little messed up here, but basically the M3 and M4 metro line are still completely broken, but in the end Asger and Jasper decided they want to get on the M4 and ask the same transit line question.
So we just didn't get on our train, and furthermore, it looks like the trains are all stopping at Havneholmen and not going any further. That's the next stop on this line that we want to go on. So we're starting to consider how we can actually get some use out of this time that we're spending down in this pit of despair.
So much despair.
If we want to spend our time, although potentially giving him some cards, we could ask a radar question to see if he's closer to or further from the central station.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
We already used our variable distance radar, but there are options that might help us.
See how it goes when the end game starts, but man, this hiding location is great. There's shade, there's like toilets over there, there's a whole library, and then of course all the animals. There's even some fruit up on these trees. Oh well, most of it has fallen down by now. Yeah. Hello, little guy. I mean, if they're gonna ask an animal-related question, I guess this is gonna be a tough one for them to beat. But it would give a lot of information away. I don't know what they're up to. They've been at like main station for an hour now, and they haven't made any progress. They haven't asked any more questions. They've asked the 2 measuring questions and then done the radar. And, well, yeah, they know I'm probably south of them, but I don't know what they're up to, basically.
Looks like a 2-kilometer radar would basically rule out or rule in the entirety of the red metro line and some of this blue line. And everything within this city center. So that might be good. We'd be left with the rest of this blue metro line and some of the southern S train stations as well. I think it'd be a pretty clean 50-50 split.
Okay, so the question we face right now is, do we get on this train and do the same line question, or do we do the radar? I don't think doing both makes sense, because they're very similar information.
Well, I mean, honestly, if we do both, it won't be a 50-50 split, but looks like it pretty cleanly would be like a 25, 25, 25, and 25 split, honestly.
Okay, we have to make the decision right now. The train is here.
Do we trust that this train is going to continue past the next station, which is the only one that's listed on the sign?
I don't know what we can believe.
I also don't know what we can
Google,
believe. Look,
Google Maps says we can
there's
keep
a
going.
chance Simon has been hiding here at the central station for all this time. I think I'd rather ask the radius question, even though the train is finally here.
Terminates at Havneholmen.
It terminates at Havneholmen.
Yep. All right. I think
we have to get
radar.
I think we have to leave this pit once more.
Yep.
And do the radar. In fact, let's do the radar right now. I'm going to do it on camera. Here we are. Are you within 2 kilometers of us? We want to get out of here.
Yes.
We got another question, and it's another radar. This time if I am within 2 kilometers of them. I don't think I am. I should be a bit further from main station than that, but I'll just double check, but I think so. Yeah, so it turns out I'm actually 3.6 kilometers away from them, so they're gonna have a hard no back. And that of course means we also get to draw another 2 cards. Whoop. See? Well, I guess I'll take the discard 2, draw 3. So that was a pretty useless card pull because, well, I only have one other card and that's a time bonus. So I don't want to discard that, and I don't have another card to discard with it, but perhaps the discard card can be used as a discard for a curse or something. We'll see.
We just received an answer from our good friend Simon. We haven't looked at it yet, but
We did get an answer. I'm going to open it up. Are you ready to hear?
I am ready.
All right. He says that he is not within 2 kilometers.
Was kind of expecting that.
Yeah. So what does that look like for us?
I believe it makes a circle like this one, meaning, to mark that out clearly, we can rule out the center of town. And that leaves us with the rest of the blue metro line that we just decided to not get on, and then the rest of the blue S train line.
For the longest time, I've had a suspicion that he is there on the S-Tog, as far as he can go.
As far as he can go, there's a good chance he's there. Do we want to ask for a photo of his station, or do you want to get on a train and ask if he's there right now, or if he's along that train line? Where would you bet that he is right now? All the way down south might.
This would make sense because
Makes sense.
he started here. He could have just gone to here and transferred once.
At this point, what I'm paranoid of is that he somehow knew that there were problems with the blue line and that he deliberately chose to hide on it. But I kind of think that happened unexpectedly after he stopped his hiding time.
Unless he is the person who delayed the blue line. Either way, if we think it is here, we do have to go in that direction. So we may as well hop on the M4 like we were about to, and we can ask if he's on that line. We can rule that out, and that would just leave 4 stations left on the S-Tog.
Let's do that. All right. I really want to go on the metro line since we waited so long.
We've waited so long. I'm ready to go.
Actually, there's no way he's got another curse. I mean, he also had to discard a card using that first curse. There are a lot more time bonuses in the game that you might think with the luck you had at drawing curses.
Actually make it on.
Stand clear of the doors, please.
Oh, here, behind you.
Let's go.
I can't believe we're actually on the blue line.
We made it on the blue line.
This is so silly. We've been in this pit. So we've been at this station. Been at this station for an hour. An hour exactly on the dot. Look, we can control the train. We can be the chauffeur. Finally, on the M4. Ask the question immediately. The doors are closing. Are we on the same line as him? I'm feeling it's going to be a yes. So the deal with this train is that apparently it just always stops at Copenhagen, or at least so it does today. Which means we're going to have to get off here anyways. While we're there, he'll probably answer the question and we can ask him immediately to send a photo from his nearest station. Maybe if we're lucky, that is Havneholm and he won't be able to take the photo. We can always hope.
Og her på M3 og M4 er der i øjeblikket tekniske problemer, hvilket betyder, at der ikke er nogen togfærd mellem Østerport og Triangel og Østerport og Nordhavn.
I was hoping they wouldn't ask this question, but especially in this order, but they just ask if I'm on the same metro line as them, which is the M4, and that would unfortunately be correct. So that's gonna narrow down the options a lot, especially if they ask a picture question from the station. But I'll send that back to them. I just pulled away too many. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, no, I didn't. Let's see which ones we take. Time bonus of... It's not too good. Curse of the Spotting Memory. That's not too good. And Curse of the Bird Guide. Ooh, that could be good. That could be really good if I film a bird. I think I'm gonna keep the Bird Guide.
Jasper, welcome to Havneholm Station. Finally, at last. And more good news. We have an answer.
We do have an answer.
Would you check for us?
Yes. Okay.
Look at how. Look at the way they announce their train departures in this station. What is this? This is sideways. Was this done as a prank?
I think this whole station, this whole metro line is a prank.
I feel like reality is starting to fall apart.
If I were Simon, this would be the most interesting place I could have been.
This feels like a liminal space.
Yes.
Why does the train stop here?
Let's see what his answer was.
Right.
We asked him if he was on the same metro line as us, M4, the one we just got off of. And the verdict is, yes.
He is
on the same line.
This is huge. Okay, well, while we're here, let's ask him to photograph any building from a station.
Yeah,
there are like
let's
3
do it.
stations we have left to check, and there's always the possibility that he can't because we're at his station.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're at the station.
Right. Let's ask him. It has been sent.
All right. I would say we get on this train, and then if he answers that he can't, we'll just go back to this one.
Yes.
But otherwise, we'll already be on a train and ready to go search for whatever building he sends us.
Ready to go. Let's go.
Right, so they have just asked for a picture of a building visible from the train station. So I'm just gonna have to walk back up there and then hopefully walk all the way back down here. And I guess we're gonna see if we can film one of those chickens for 5 minutes. So yeah, bit of a situation now. Is that the tracker doesn't work very well underground, and the metro line down here is fully underground. So I don't actually really know where they are, if they're gonna get off somewhere. My hunch would initially have been they would go all the way to Copenhagen Syd, but now they know that I am somewhere along the metro line. I don't know what they're gonna do actually. Are they just gonna pop up at a random station? Well, let's hope it's not mine then.
Alright, do we get off here? He has 10 minutes to answer the question.
Yeah, that has given him a ton of time. But now, if we have entered his zone and he hasn't gotten the picture yet, now he can't.
True.
Let's get off here.
Let's get off of here.
And this is a nice, quiet station. I wonder if it's almost worth going up to the surface just to get a peek at what the buildings
Sure, we can immediately look for the buildings.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if we are up there, he wouldn't be able to go to the buildings.
Right.
So.
And yeah.
Let's see if he's just standing there.
Right, so there's an exit here, so I guess we're gonna go with that building over there, if I can manage to crop it in a way. I think that counts, right? Right. Well, let's send them that. Oh, no, time bonus.
That would be great if we baited him into coming here with the question from there, and how he's walked closer to here, and now we can move. No response yet.
Okay. Huh. Wow, okay. This is different.
Not what I was expecting to
This
see.
is very different.
We still have like 20 minutes to beat until he beats my time.
Oh, okay, we'll just find him in 20 minutes, no problem. Surely he doesn't have any time bonuses.
We've ruled it down to like 4 stations, right? So
Yeah.
That's doable.
Here's the situation. We have 4 stations left to search. This, and this. We're at this one right now. So, depending the answer we get back, we will either be searching in this area, or the plan has got to be to just go to these 3 other stations and look for that photo, the building in the photo they sent us.
And hopefully we can do that pretty quickly, and then within, I'd say, like 10 minutes, we should be able to find them, I say.
And he just sent us a photo, so we have
He
just sent us a photo, so we have to look at it. What that does tell us is
that we need to get back into that hole.
yeah, we're not in the end game because he was able to move and get a photo.
All right. What's the image look like? What's your feel from looking at this image, Jasper?
Well, it doesn't look like anything around this station. It's a residential multi-story building with a triangular pitched roof.
Oh, okay, so like maybe a little older in style than these flat roof buildings around us. Oh, okay, the most generic looking roof in the entirety of Copenhagen.
I mean, that's what I did for my hiding spot, so.
We're geoguessers, right? we can potentially find this on satellite view.
I think so. I'm gonna pull up satellite
The
view
gable
real
is
quick.
interesting because oftentimes in Denmark you won't see a gable like this where the roof kind of tapers down and it's it's a point like that.
So on satellite view, what I'm going to be looking for is a rectangular building where you kind of see that, you know, inward
the ridge of
triangle.
the roof
Yeah.
has that inwards triangle, exactly.
Okay.
Actually, I think that might be more worth our time than going down into the station and getting off at every single one of the 3 stations we have left to look at.
Well, we can do both at once. Let's go to the station and wait for a train while I look at satellite view.
That is a great point. Let's indeed do that.
So on the tracker, they are still not at my station, so hopefully I have time to make it back to the the spot I would like to hide in by the animals. So they're still up at Ingherborg, so they shouldn't get here before I will make it down to the animal zoo thing. But of course they probably already figured out which station I'm at now, so we are very soon gonna be in the end game. But time-wise, it's looking pretty good for me. I should be able to beat Jasper, and then it's just gonna be what Asger does later. It's gonna decide the game.
Oh, hey, can we get on this? No.
Yeah.
Just our luck.
2 minutes, not a big deal. This gives us time to look at satellite view.
By the time the next train shows up, we will have figured out the exact station we want to go to.
Yeah, let's see. So, we're at this one, it's industrial. Let's look at the next one.
Barely any buildings next to these
Barely
stations.
anything, yeah, unless it's a brand new building, but it didn't look brand new. So let's go to the next one.
Yeah,
That,
I mean, keep in
that right
mind,
there,
oh my
that's the
goodness.
kind of roof we're looking for. So, is there a station? Oh, we're getting a lot of things like that at Mozart's Plods.
There's a different building that looks like it might be at. I will say, the building at that other stop had a very like rosy, like rosa, reddy, magenta-y look. These are more
Yes.
orangey red.
Yes, I feel like this is promising. It looks like the station was under construction in this image, but if he left the station like right here, he could have gotten a picture of that building.
Yes. And also, remember how in the photo we have like a
street light.
street with
So he's looking
lights.
across the street from the station.
And this light is hanging from wires that must be suspended between multiple buildings, right? So there are buildings on both sides of the street.
Yes.
I think Mozart's Place.
Wait. Is this the one we wanted to be on? I don't remember.
Wait.
I didn't check actually.
Yes.
Okay. A little scary there.
Figure.
Okay, this station. Okay, so the one after the one we were looking at, Mozart's, there's nothing good. No, there's
hanging street lamps like
There's
that.
nothing near Copenhagen Sud
Yeah.
that would look like that. So I think
No.
it has to be.
Mozart's Place.
Has to be Mozart's Platz.
Where are we now? Snoesholm. So next stop.
Yep.
Simon, you might be an expert in everything Copenhagen Metro, but we're the geoguessers. We'll identify your roofline. If we remember to ask for a photo of it, that is.
I think this is the building.
Oh, we can even see a little bit of the side of the building there.
Yeah, it isn't immediately clear from this image if we can see that window.
No, but
we're here.
We can just go check.
He probably
Oh
broke
my
these.
goodness, did he also break the escalators?
Yep.
Everything is broken on this line. What's happening?
He knew what he was doing. Okay.
So show me where your building is.
Yes, that's the building.
That's it.
Like a
That's
block
gotta
away
be
that
it.
way.
We've got the hanging street lamps right there. It's got to be it.
Okay, we're in the end game now. What do we do next?
Yeah, so even though I'd probably be able to film a chicken for 5 minutes here, if they figure out that like this place on maps is mentioned something with the name of animal, then I think I'm toast even without them asking another question. So I think have a look and see if we can find another bird and at least maybe get a minute or two. Well, there's a bird over there. So let's film that bird.
Curse of the Bird Guide. You have one chance to film a bird for as long as possible, up to 5 minutes straight. If at any point the bird leaves the frame, your timer is stopped. The seekers must then film a bird for the same amount of time or longer before asking another question. Casting cost, film a bird.
Don't go anywhere, Mr. Bird. You stay here. Right.
What do we do next?
I'm all out of breath. We ask for a photo from where he's at.
Yes. Let me see if I can hit him with that real quick. Oh, we got a curse.
No? What? Really now? I guess
got a
he knows
curse.
we're here. We don't need to announce our arrival. What's the curse? Since he kept this for the end game, I'm thinking probably curse of the right turn or maybe curse of the gambler's feet.
Well, this is a fitting curse for me to complete, perhaps. Curse of the Bird Guide.
Oh!
We have one chance to film a bird for as long as possible.
Oh, that's the hider. Hider has one
okay.
chance. Keep reading.
So we just have to film a bird for longer than he did.
Did he post his time?
He did. Well, he posted a video. Let me check
Okay.
how long it is.
I mean, he just had to run to get a photo from here, right? So surely it can't be like that long of a video.
And I think it's fair game to say that if we see things in the background of his bird video, that helps
Absolutely.
give away where he is.
Sometimes the casting cost for a curse gives away information free.
Okay? And so in the ending few frames of the bird video, right, so he took a video of a bird on a picnic table, and we see a playground, and what do I see right over there but a playground?
Jasper, this curse of the bird guide only prevents us from asking questions. It doesn't prevent us from looking for him.
Right.
We don't even have to clear this curse.
I think we could just go look for him. He just sent that, which means, you know, it's in the end game. He can't move anymore. I think he's right by that playground.
Oh, and also that video was like, what, 10 seconds?
Oh, it was 48 seconds long.
Oh,
I fast
okay.
forwarded, but
Okay.
good effort. But I think he's just right over here.
I think this man might have just lost his second place. Because obviously I'm getting first place. Sorry, in case that wasn't clear, I plan on hiding for 5 hours straight.
Wait, actually, what time is it right now? We have 4 minutes to catch him, otherwise I lose.
Okay, well, maybe in case it isn't over here, I would quite like to secure you at a second place at least. There was a green wooden thing in the background, wasn't there? When it flew right at the end?
Yeah, I'm looking. Green wooden thing, yeah.
Yes, whatever that is. We
I see that
we could
there
quickly
might be
cross
more.
the road to see if it's there.
Yeah, let's cross. So my theory as to what he did here is the building he sent a picture of was the other way down the road. So he maybe thought we would go that way.
Silly, but I can imagine you might be right. This is a school.
No, okay, shoot, that is not the right fence.
Search for playgrounds in the area.
There's a picnic table over there. It's not the right color. Okay, playgrounds in the area.
Yeah, I mean, not to boss you around, but I think that's our best shot right now.
Oh no. It looks like every courtyard of all of these houses has playground equipment in it.
Oh, was there a building in the background of that shot, or did he manage to not show that?
Didn't show a playground or a building. Okay, I don't think it's here. Let's go.
I also kind of think it's not here. If it is, if he's really around here,
Hiding in a playground full of children.
there would be a swarm of kids all around him.
Oh no, and I have terrible news. We are 1 minute away from my time being beaten.
Jasp, I do like to keep up an optimistic facade, but I think you might be cooked. Race for first place is still on. I just need to beat whatever his time ends up being. So I would still like to find this guy as quickly as possible. You could look at the results, the playgrounds. Like you could look at images that other people have taken at these playgrounds.
Okay, yes.
If anyone.
No images.
Okay, just street view. Yeah.
Like these are all just courtyards for houses.
Oh.
Like look how many playgrounds there are.
So many.
Yeah. He got a good idea going here.
I didn't realize there'd be a playground around every single corner, literally. Should we sit down somewhere like on the other side of the street away from some of these kids? And just have a look. I would really love to look at the video again because I've only seen glimpses. Oh, I would so like to find this guy without asking another question.
Yeah.
Filming a bird.
As much as I enjoy birds, I'd rather not film one right now. I've been filming a bird all day, and that is me. So there is a picnic table that seems to be
For all Simon's viewers, there is context to that.
I am a bird, by the way. I would like to just peek around the corner by the building he sent a picture of.
Sure. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I might be gone for...
So after a couple of minutes just scouting the satellite map, Jasper went off to check out the courtyards just north of the station, while Asger continued to scout the satellite map, but ultimately both ended up with nothing.
Oh.
So that whole area
Hello.
is no good. All the courtyards do have playgrounds in them, but they're fenced off with green metal fences.
There are a couple of playgrounds that I think look promising.
I haven't even seen birds we could film if we wanted to ask a question.
Really? Oh. I think if we start walking around to some of these playgrounds, surely we will find a bird and we can start asking like tallest building questions.
Yeah.
A few more moments of scouting the satellite map and the boys ended up concluding that the playgrounds to the south of the plaza looked more promising.
I simply will not stand on this square any longer. Let us look for birds, let us look for bollards with lights in them like this, because I noticed the park from which he sent that video has bollards like that.
And it also had patio furniture like that.
They did.
But
that might just
generic.
be IKEA.
Yeah, it is IKEA.
At least feel like I had a good look at the video and taken in all the information that I was able to glean from it.
And the search goes on and on through the various courtyards and alleyways looking for either a bird to film or playgrounds that match the video description just south of the metro station.
The strategy right now is to follow the moms. The moms are going to go to the playground, right?
True.
And there are some moms.
Are we about to leave the search area though?
I will check the radius. I think we're well within 500 meters.
Okay.
We are currently 270 meters away. He could be twice as far, practically.
Nothing. Surely as soon as we find a bird though,
right,
we'll be able to record it for 1 minute.
I do hear playing, so.
I believe I just heard a rooster.
Hold on.
That child
zoo?
That child also believed they heard a rooster.
Wait a minute. There's patio furniture.
There are goats. Oh my goodness.
Wait,
These are
it would be so easy to record a bird. Right? It can be a flightless bird, right?
Yes. Oh, it's right here. It's literally
He'll just
right
stand
here.
there. Hold on. We're getting our question.
That is rooster. These are some scrunkly birds. I believe we might have found midway birds here. What happened to you? Are you recording?
Yes.
Just keep it in frame for a minute, literally.
That'll be easy. If nothing else, we found our bird.
Yep.
That's the green
I see
shaped
that
furniture
green.
from the video, but the picnic
Got the
table
same-
isn't here.
Actually, yeah, everything matches. We've got the same kind of wooden tables. We've got the brick paved roads. We've got the little bollard lights.
There's a picnic table over here.
Okay. Yep, well this
This is
seems
so
like a match.
The bird was on this table.
Sure, yeah, from like this angle you can see the
the green things.
fence and the green things.
He's got to be
Makes
around
sense.
here.
Just because seems like there are a number of these green things. Well, obviously, I guess he moved a little bit after taking that video.
Right. Do you think he just hid in the bushes like I did?
I don't know. There are a lot of kids here, though. Oh,
He's right there.
okay. Search called off. He's right here. Have you just been standing here on the side of the path?
Yeah, I've just been vibing right here. Had a bench, some goats, some chickens to keep me company, and now a whole school load of kids have showed up.
What a lovely place to hide.
And now it's Asker's turn to hide. Will he be able to beat my final hiding time? Well, there's only one way to find out. You'll have to go watch his video over on his channel. So click the card here on screen now. Do it now to see if I win or not. Go watch his video and then you'll know. So click the card on screen now. Okay, bye.